communicators, and welcome to this week's weekly live stream where I bring to you 10 minutes of coaching, laser mindset coaching, laser animal communication coaching, any kind of coaching that I think will be helpful for you to become the animal communicator that you desire and most certainly deserve to be. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sarah Jane LeBlanc and I am the host of this group, and it is always, always, always my absolute pleasure and privilege to rock up here every week for you so that you can be the animal communicator that you desire to be. So this week I wanted to talk about being brave because this work is really brave work. Being an animal communicator and becoming the voice for the animals and sharing your views, your thoughts about animal communication, sharing the actual feedback that you get from animals in your animal communication, that's brave. That is really, really brave. That's a big thing to do. Because for most of us, when we start out in this work, we're the only one really that's doing it. We don't really know many people that are doing it. You might have come across other people in a group like mine, or you might have done a program or a short course where there are other people. But when you get back to your home, where you live and your day-to-day life after being at a workshop, you can suddenly feel quite alone. And that's why I actually created this group. It was created originally for people that had been on my live workshops and needed a place to connect after the workshop and stay motivated. So that's why this group was created. It's now expanded into a space for anybody that wants to just come in with like-minded people and practice their animal communication. But here's the thing. I have a teacher in this group, an animal teacher comes in every Tuesday, and you have the opportunity to practice. Now, I know that some of you practice and will post your feedback in the group, which is what I encourage you to do. And I know that some of you practice and keep your notes to yourself and you don't want to publicly display your notes. That's absolutely okay as well. It doesn't matter to me what you do. But either way, you're still taking a really brave decision. A brave decision, firstly, to do the work, and secondly, to record your information and to either share it publicly, keep it to yourself, but check against the Guardian's feedback as to what you got correct or not. And that's a really brave thing to do, especially when you are not surrounded by people in your home environment, your maybe even your local community, or even for some of you in your country. The amount of messages and emails that I have from people all over the world that talk about animal communication not being something that is accepted in their country. So it's not even just their family that doesn't get it or their local community that doesn't get it, but their whole country doesn't get it. That can be quite a lonely place to be. So if you're stepping up to be an animal communicator, then that requires real bravery. So the first thing that I want to do today is just applaud you. Just absolutely applaud you for being here in this group, for just taking the chance of giving it a go. Because at the end of the day, the only way for you to progress as an animal communicator is to practice. And the best way, the absolute best way for you to grow and develop with that practice is to get feedback. So that's the purpose of this group and the weekly practice, so you can get that feedback. But what I want to tap into today is why that's brave. So I've already talked about, sometimes we can feel alone, or people round about us don't get it. And yes, people here in the group get it, but we can still be a bit distanced from you. So covered that piece, but there's also some other things that I see coming up for, I was going to say a lot of students, but I'd actually go as far as to say the majority of students, and that includes me. So I hold my hand up with that as well. So one of the things, or one of the many things that I struggled with in the early days of doing this work was fear of being ridiculed, fear of being judged. Well, she's a bit loopy. Do you hear about that, Sarah Jane? She talks to animals. She says she can speak to animals. That kind of stuff. So if that's what's coming up for you, just pop a smiley face in the comments below. If you've got those feelings of, oh my goodness, people are going to think I'm loopy or a bit woo-woo or a bit out there or a bit crazy. If you've got fears of being judged or ridiculed, pop a smiley face in the comments below, and then we will know that we're not alone, because I was one of those people too. And then the second piece that I see coming up for the majority of students is around visibility. So visibility can sometimes be quite a scary place to be. Suddenly you're putting yourself out there and you're visible. People are seeing you, and maybe you prefer to work more quietly and hidden in the corner of your bedroom as you take your notes, or quietly in just a very small group of people that know that you do this work. So the thought of becoming more visible, that can be really scary, and it can also be quite debilitating too. And again, I hold my hand up to that one as well. I worked for many years very quietly in the corner of my treatment room, and I just looked at the photograph, did the work, emailed the client, and that was as far as it went, until a newspaper journalist happened to be one of my clients. I didn't know at the time that she was a journalist, and then she was so blown away with what she'd got. She wanted to write a piece about it, and then it just snowballed from there. And I had no choice. Now, I realise now that that was very much part of my journey. You know, I don't think I was ever meant to stay hidden, and I've had to, I suppose, find a level of comfort with that visibility, because it hasn't always been comfortable. So if you understand or recognize or resonate with that fear of visibility or discomfort with visibility, find the little monkey emoji with that hands over his or her eyes, and just pop that in the comments below. And again, we can all see that we're not alone with these feelings. So I just want to come back to this whole notion of bravery, because this work is brave. This work is really brave. You need to be brave enough to give it a go. Then you need to be brave enough to share your findings, and you need to be brave enough to put yourself out there to do it. And when we have fears around being judged, being ridiculed, being made fun of, being laughed at, or just simply getting it wrong, the fear of just getting it wrong and looking like an idiot, feeling silly, feeling belittled, whatever emotions are around for you at the thought of getting something wrong, especially publicly. And I don't mean here in the group, this is a safe place in the group here, but even just you with The Guardian and getting it wrong, that's still public. And so that's why it's so brave to even share your communication results. So when you have those different feelings going on, if those feelings become too big, they will absolutely stop you from showing up and doing the work, putting yourself out there and giving your feedback. And this is why it's really important to understand these I'm not even quite sure what to call them, these feelings, these emotions, these drivers. They are drivers. They are behavioral drivers caused by an emotion, and the emotion is the fear, and that creates the behavior or lack of behavior. And if the fear is too big, then it will get to a point where you won't do the work. You won't put yourself out there. You won't risk the fear of judgment, ridicule, etc., getting it wrong, letting the animals down. That's another common one, that people are so scared of letting the animals down that they don't even go there. So this is why I want to talk about bravery, because it's an absolutely key, essential ingredient to you becoming the animal communicator that you desire and absolutely deserve to be. So I encourage you to be brave. And if you recognize some of the stuff that I've talked about here, and you know that that's showing up for you, then just put it showing up in the comments. Just put it showing up in the comments, and then I can see what the response is, and I can do some more work around that if that's helpful to you. If you want me directly to reach out to you, I'm happy to do that too. If you want to chat to me about it, then I can do that as well. So just put showing up. It's showing up in the comments, and I'll know to either do more work around this, or we can have a little kind of chat around it. Because the thing is, and I can't, I feel really emotional, okay? And I feel like I'm going to cry, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because it's in service to you. Because here's the thing, I would absolutely be doing you a disservice if I didn't lay this out really transparently for you. If you don't address these fears, if you don't do something about them to, you know, alleviate them, overcome them, or at least manage them, then you are not going to be able to go out and make the difference that you want to make in the world of animals. You are not going to be able to go out and make your impact. You're not going to be able to go out and make the transformations that you know are possible for you. And that saddens me hugely, because you don't need to be debilitated by these strong feelings and strong fears. You can get over them. How do I know that? Because I got over them. How do I still know that? Because all my students on my programs need to get over them. I'm trained in belief clearing, understanding how the brain works and creates the behaviors. So that's the stuff that I love to do and love to support my students with. So I'm telling you right now, from my heart to yours, you do not need to be debilitated by those fears any longer. They are absolutely overcomable, if that's such a word. So I really felt that strongly there coming through as a really honest piece that I needed to share with you. Because if you have a choice, we all have a choice. So I see it like two doors. This is how I explain it to my students. You've got two doors. Anytime we bump up against something, you've got the door that you can go through, and sometimes it's a tough road. You go through that and you sometimes hit a dark spot in there, but you come out the other side. And then you've got this door. And this door is, no thanks, not at the moment. I don't want to go there, or I'm not ready to go there, or I do want to go there, but I don't have the right support resources to go there just yet. So you don't go there. And that's okay. I have no judgment on what door you choose, but just be aware that you do have a choice. You do have a choice. And if your door is the no door, what will absolutely keep happening is that you'll just keep circling back. You'll just keep circling back. You'll have some other experiences with animal communication, and then you'll bump up against these fears, and you'll be back to this choice. And you can keep going through the no door, or you can go through that door. There's no right, there's no wrong. There's only what's right for you at any given time. But I'm just hoping that helps you understand that there is a there is a process that's going on as you bump up against yourself and you bump up against these fears. But the reality is, and this is the piece that I felt really strongly drawn to sharing with you, the reality is you will not be able to progress. These fears can be so all-consuming and completely debilitating that they will stop you from doing your animal communication work. So if that's ever happened to you, with the fear of getting it wrong, letting the animals down, looking foolish, being judged, being visible, if any of those fears have come up for you and have stopped you either doing the work or feeding back on the work or taking the next step to progress your work, please put a sad face in the comments. So again, we can all see that we're not alone, because you're not the only person, I promise you, to have experienced this. So that's the piece today. It's about being brave, the importance of being brave, so that you can learn so you can learn to grow. You can only grow with feedback, even the feedback when you think you've got it wrong, even the feedback when you absolutely have got it wrong. It's just feedback. And that helps you fine tune the animal communicator that you are stepping into. And the other piece, there was another bit, and I've lost it. There was another bit about being brave. Yeah, it was about having a choice. There was something else, and it's just gone. It will come back if it's meant to, about having a choice and how. Oh yeah, it was about the debilitation. Thank you. So it was about that these fears can absolutely debilitate you and just prevent you from making the difference in the world that you want to make. So here's to you, and here's to you being brave. And whatever your next brave step is, I encourage you to take it, because the fear, and I know this from personal experience, I know it from my students' experience, and I know it from the work that I do and the work that I'm trained in. The fear that we're allowing to hold us back is never, ever, ever, ever as scary or as terrifying as we perceive it to be before we've gone there. So it's the illusion of like how big and terrifying this is. When we actually do it, it's never anywhere near as big as we feel it to be. But if we stay in that big feeling of it, it might stop you moving forward. And that's just not what I want for you. And it's not what the animals want for you. And the animals, when you communicate with them, are so willing to be your teachers and to help you and to guide you. And they want you to do this as much as I want you to do this. So here's to you being brave. And I want you to put a love heart in the comments below if you are ready to take your next brave step, and just put down what it is. It might be trying a practice animal in the group for the very first time. It might be posting your results for the first time because you've been doing it silently for 6 months. It might be reaching out to speak to me and making a decision about how you can be the animal communicator you want to be. Whatever your next brave step is, pop it in the comments below. I would love to hear, and more importantly, I would love to support you with that. So until next time, keep communicating and be brave.